Guys of Reddit, is post-nut clarity a real thing? What is it like? It's like walking in on yourself. Holy shit, you figured it out. It gets your mind off girls, so you can study. Study? No. No. I've seen this work. I had a male roommate who was so damn tense about some upcoming exams. He tried to relax by listening to music, going for a walk, even stealing some of my tea. He just wouldn't relax, and it was driving me crazy. So I told him to just go to his room and jack off. Either it works or it doesn't, but at least he'll stop bothering me for 20 minutes. It was just what he needed. He was much more calm, relaxed, and could focus on his studying more. Edit. I love the fact that people are getting tripped up over the 20 minutes. I don't know how long guys last when they do their thing. I just took a guess. It's kinda like magic tbh. The second you come, your whole thought process changes. This porn is so ducking hot, holy shit. Not what the duck am I jerking off to, Jesus Christ, I'm disappointed in myself. Followed by embarrassingly closing 28 tabs. It's more like being very horny clouds your judgment. When you come, that's all gone in a flash, and you're back to normal. It's a sudden change in brain chemistry that does it. Joe Rogan does a very good stand-up bit on this exact phenomenon. He compares it to a werewolf waking up covered in blood the day after full moon and saying, "What have I done?" Apostrophe. My favorite is that you're driving the bus and then all of a sudden you're in the back of the bus and your dick is driving. It's the difference between going to the grocery store hungry versus not hungry. Exactly this. It isn't that you're suddenly smart and wise. It's that you're suddenly not being driven by a hunger that makes you an idiot. This perfectly summed up reply is almost definitely brought to you by PNC. Close street way I can describe it is going from starving to stuffed while mid-bite in your meal. It's honestly kind of scary how quickly your state of mind changes. Just goes to show how much your hormone/brain chemistry actually control you. It's like you go from just animalistic urges and wanting to duck something to wanting to take a nap in the blink of an eye. It'll make you look upon the very kinks you were just viewing online with disgust and shame. It'll make you want to call and apologize to your 8th grade history teacher for screwing around so much during class. But for real. Life pro tip that I read somewhere and is just as helpful as it is hilarious. Before you make any big or risky decision, anything from making a big spontaneous purchase online to making some random person on Instagram masturbate, choke the chicken, milk the eel, flick the bean, butter your muffin, jack/jollof. The post-nut clarity will put you in a new, more reasonable state of mind. Won't that cause a huge line at the checkout counter? It's like a pressure relief valve. As soon as it's been all realized, you don't feel horny anymore. Best way I've described it is taking a deep breath and hold it until you're uncomfortable. Then let it all out. Once you do that, you'll go from frantic to relief to why did I just do that? That's post-nut clarity. This. Except in the heat of the moment you enjoy it. Before, dang I miss her a lot. After, she isn't right for me though. 20 minutes later, dang I miss her a lot. 10 minutes later, nah, I don't. Apostrophe. Me pre-nut, I gotta buy an Oculus Rift. I gotta try VR porn. It's only $400. Me post-nut, what the duck have I done? And that's the story of how I got an Oculus Rift. So should we get one? Not for the porn. Totally worth it for Alex, Pavlov, Beat Saber, Blade and Sorcery, Squadrons, and VR chat lap dances. Edit. This is what VR chat lap dancing looks like. Video is SFW. Link. B/zrgas70ovw. For full body tracking you need to spend $300 extra on 3 Vive bucks and get the more expensive Valve Index or HTC HMDs for the Lighthouse units. However, it's simple to set up and completely mind-blowing in how compelling and immersive the VR interaction is. It is real. It feels like, what the duck did I just do? ? Now I gotta get rid of this body. Pre-nut, I need these 15 tabs open. Once I finish, I'm going to keep going and watch each of these. I'm gonna quit my job and just nut non-stop forever. Apostrophe. Post-nut. Well, that was just silly. Why did I waste 20 minutes curating those? Not gonna do that again. Yes. It sometimes even happens before I nut, and I just look at the porn and think, why am I masturbating to this? This is disgusting. Mid-nut clarity. The worst kind. When there's a black spot on the screen and you see your reflection. When horny AF, I need to DM my ex. She is so hot. And she is not so toxic after all. After rubbing one out, duck that bitch. I deserve better. It's the realization that your kinks you're getting off on are really, really weird. Makes you wonder how you got here in the first place. Rephrasing of a popular quote from Star Wars. There's always a weirder kink. More like, how did this happen? We're smarter than this. Apostrophe. Apparently not. Apostrophe. Pre-nut me. Yeah, this is hot. Post-nut me. What the duck am I watching? It gets hotter and hotter the closer you are to nutting. Then all of a sudden it's degenerate filth, and you close the tab as quickly as you searched it up. Then you sit there and wonder about if you should seek help or something for the weird shit you just watched. Decide against it. Rinse and repeat. Sometimes as soon as later that day. It's 100% real. It's the difference between, oh yeah, this is a totally reasonable rate for this OnlyFans account to see this girl, and what the duck, why would anyone pay money for any OnlyFans account? Holy shit, dead on. I just did this shit last week. Right? No price is reasonable when the hub is free. Pre-nut, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen. Post-nut, this is kinda gross, why did I watch this? Post-nut, I hate everything about this things I choose to be. I experience post-nut clarity as a woman. The things I think about when I'm at my most aroused are disgusting, and as soon as I climax I'm turned off by my own imagination. It's like when you go to Subway when you're really hungry, and by the end of your sandwich you can't even imagine why you made this decision. Same, and also a woman. I figured everyone had post-nut clarity, regardless of gender. Same. I relate to every post here. Also a woman. Yes. But it doesn't last very long. So, like everyone says, you're super horny and all you can think of is big butts and sweet thick thighs and beautiful breasts. Then, immediately after nutting, it's like, oh shit, I need to get my taxes done by the end of next week. And I've been meaning to clear out all that shit behind the garage. Shouldn't take more than an hour or two. And when I remodel this kitchen I'm going with antique white cabinets and light colored countertops to offset the dark tile on the floor. So all this stuff starts rushing through your head. But by the time you actually try to do any of that stuff, you're already horny again, and the whole cycle repeats itself. At least, that's how it is for me. Keep chipping away at it, buddy. I believe in you. Very real. I will be browsing escort sites, getting worked up convincing myself I should call. I'm not in a position financially to be spending $200 to $300 like that. As soon as I nut there is a sense of relief that I didn't call. What a waste it would have been. Every damn day. What's even worse is planning for it. Going to the hotel. Paying for it. Doing it. After all that. It's like WTF. $500 and 2 hours wasted when I colder jerked it at home and saved the money and time. It's real. Pre-nut, this porn isn't too disgusting. I can get off to this. Post-nut, I'm atheist, but damn I need to go to church to cleanse my soul. When you start masturbating, fuck, that is the hottest thing I've ever seen. 5 years later, when you have porn addiction, that's not too disgusting. I can nut to this. It's the sudden sharp loss of sexual desire. It does not interfere with my feelings of love or tenderness towards my partner. It can feel luxurious and relaxing and wonderful. Yeah, I feel like some dudes are giving women the wrong idea. You can definitely have post-nut bliss too. It's just that you're no longer horny. Best way to describe it. Pre-third step siblings. Post-third step siblings. OMG LMAO. Anyone who has ever had sex with a guy where he was totally into you until the second he came knows that it's real. Ugh. Yep. It's crushing when you realize they don't feel the same as you. 2. Do guys get post-nut clarity, as in feelings of disgust, shame or regret, after sleeping with their girlfriends? No way. I had casual sex once, and never again, and that was the only time I had that with a real person. Suddenly it was like, who is this naked stranger in my bed, and why are they sweaty? Apostrophe. With actual partners all that changes is that I'm suddenly not aroused anymore. Which just means I want to cuddle talk sleep with them, as in actual sleep. It's a lot of serotonin. Yeah. Totally real. After guys nut their interest in sex drops to near zero. Consider that for a minute. They simply cannot be turned on. It's over for them. They don't care. Their mind is giving no positive feedback anymore to erotic ideas or imagery. It's the difference of being hungry than being so full. The idea of eating more makes you a little disgusted. Post-nut clarity is a brief time when guys see the world devoid of their sexual interest. And it can be a bit weird. You realize that a lot of what you were doing prior to nutting was just to reach that point and you go, why did I do that? How was this worth it? Semicolon. Thing is, most of the time a guy's desire for sex overrides a lot of other stuff. When guys are horny they'll say anything for sex. And probably mean it too. But their minds are clouded by the idea of sex. And after sex they can see the thing for what it is without sex and realize it's not that great. Like, a guy will whine and dine you and tell you he wants to spend the whole week with you. And in that moment he's not really lying. But that can all come crashing down once he comes and realizes all he really wanted was sex, and the idea of giving up his weekend for you person doesn't seem so desirable anymore. This sounds like me, female, having feelings and making plans when I'm drunk, then sobering up and regret. Honestly, that's a very good analogy. Both involve chemicals affecting your brain and altering your decision-making process. LPT, guys. Rub one out before the date, so your mind isn't clouded with wanting to get some, and instead is focused on actually getting to know the person. There are guys out there that go on dates without rubbing one out beforehand. God damn it. That's like going out with a loaded gun. Why the hell would anyone do that? Sometimes you need ammunition. I think it's a bit of a misnomer. It's more of a pre-nut fog. You start to analyze everything more thoroughly. Also, you are low-key disgusted by yourself after the deed. Definitely real. And it feels like looking back at the horrifying, disgusting porn that you just ejaculated to and wondering what it says about you as a person. I'm not a guy, but I can confirm it is real for girls too. I was gonna say, as a girl I do have these moments for sure. Lol. Pre-nut, I need a girlfriend. Post-nut, nope. I'm good. Well, you can jerk off your dick, but you can't jerk off your heart. It'll get this tattooed on my left arm one day. It's more of regret at times. However, it does feel like some hard drive space has been opened up. Lol. I agree. PM_me_er_booty. Complete regret. You feel disgusted. No matter what you just jacked off to. Cringe-worthy pizza delivery porno or hardcore furry porn. As soon as you're done, you feel such an intense feeling of regret, failure and shame. Yet you'll do it again and again and again. Bruce Banner walking through the city and seeing what the Hulk has done to it. It isn't. I mean, it's not like a holy shit I just came and now I have this wondrous epiphany of what I must do or have a better attitude towards something. At the same time, sometimes being horny does duck with your head and you waste hours trying to find that perfect clip or video that could been better utilized. Whatever you just found attractive is no longer attractive. The porn you're jerking to, the girl you just ducked, none of it is desirable anymore. Like a dog chasing a car. Doesn't know what to do once you catch it. Everyone asks who is a good boy, but nobody asks how is the good boy doing. Absolutely. All jokes aside, it's 100% real. It lasts for maybe 3 minutes or less. It's when all feelings of horniness are completely gone from your brain. You feel completely different than just a few seconds ago. You look down at your sticky dick and think, why do we have to be horny? Why do we have to jerk off? It's such a distraction. Think of all the awful things that happen when people are horny. Sexual assault, rape, child molestation, etc. The only reason we are horny is because it's hardwired into our brains. We, as a species, are designed to regularly have sex in order to reproduce and spread. Why can't we just never be horny and only have sex to have children? Now that I'm not horny, I have zero interest in sex. Of course we need to regularly masturbate in order to release dead sperm. But being horny is just awful. It's just pure irrationality. I'm hungry. In short, post-nut clarity feels like almost irrationality is removed from your brain. I too have the post-nut existential crisis. Well, I find my inhibitions are seriously lowered when I'm horny. Far worse than when I'm drunk. So, post-nut I get some brain back. In 1818, German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer described the post-orgasm moment of clarity as devil's laughter, explaining, they have fulfilled their need to reproduce and are momentarily caught in the abyss of meaninglessness. Personally, I lose all libido suddenly and immediately at the exact post-orgasm moment, as if transported again to the real, boring, caution-demanding regular world, no longer feeling any desire to continue at what you were just doing. A sudden realization where you could hear yourself saying, okay, what the duck? Why was I even acting like that? That was definitely not my true self. Ducking weird shit. Just let me do something else now. Yes, only it's less of clarity and just regret and disappointment in the world. As an ugly female, I can describe what it looks like. The worst part is busting the nut and still wanting to see her. That's when you cry yourself to sleep. Sorta, but the clarity is usually what the duck am I doing with my life. The closest example I can draw is being hungry, borderline starving, to the point where you'll do anything to eat. If you're making your own meal, so to speak, you'll look up a dozen recipes, even though you can only eat one. If you're feeling really saucy, you might spring for some premium meal ideas on Only Chefs, because suddenly the prices seem reasonable, even though Gourmet Hub has basically the same content for free. And, of course, as your cravings grow more and more insatiable, you might bust out some specialized kitchen tools to help you cook better. You fly into a flurry, jumping from recipe to recipe, leaving each half completed, at best, before starting on the next dish. You tell yourself you have hours and hours to cook, that you can and will bake, broil and baste all night, and then, you take a bite. Just one single, solitary bite of one single solitary dish. It's not even your favorite dish. In fact, of all the entrees you had in your mental list of potential main courses, it's not even in the top 10. It doesn't matter. Suddenly, you're not hungry anymore. By now, the kitchen is an absolute mess. Mixing bowls runneth over with half-whipped batters and poorly emulsified sauces. All 4 burners on the oven range boil, simmer or saute pots and pans of delicacies which no longer entice you. Worse yet, after looking around, you see some truly questionable fare. Culinary experiments, daring and brilliant in the moment, that now make your stomach churn. We're talking peanut butter jalapeno poppers or cottage cheese and maple syrup curry. And that's just the stuff that makes even the barest, most twisted amount of sense. What is wrong with me, you think? Falling deeper and deeper into a depressive, full-bellied stupor. Why did I think I could eat all of this? Oh, duck. Oh, fuck. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Did I text my ex to bring over a pizza? Apostrophe. Hell on earth. Low self-esteem gained. Disgust and shame. It is many things, often overwhelming disinterest. Pre-nut, acting like a dog. Post-nut, filling out a job application and meal planning. Yes, it is real. Basically, you satisfy your instinctive urges, and then for a few hours you can focus 100% purely on your work or your studies instead of worrying about shagging and passing on your genes. That is why people in serious relationships seem to be less frustrated and more focused. Never heard of it before or did. Never experienced it. But I don't doubt that it's real for some people. I might guess that it depends on how much sway your libido has on your life in the first place. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.